Hi, welcome to Pilates with Abla. This is a level 1 short video for the glutes, hamstrings, and hips. Let's go ahead and get started. Start by laying all the way onto your back with your feet hip sockets distance apart, parallel. So that's about a fist distance. And you want to make sure that your feet are not turned out or turned in, but just parallel, so lined up with the edges of the mat. If you have knee issues, you can always take your feet just a teeny bit further away from you. But ideal is fingertips touching heels. Pull the abdominals in and up and think of your collarbones opening wide and the backs of the shoulders being wide on the mat. If your shoulders feel tight, take your arms just a little wider to the side, but ideal is arms by your side. The abdominals pull in even a little bit more, and then imagine a bowl of water on your pelvis. Tilt the bowl of water towards you by curling the tailbone under and tilting the pubic bone towards your face. Keep that curl in the tailbone, and then press through your big toes, your pinky toes, and your heels. Squeeze your glutes and lift the hips all the way up into a shoulder bridge. At the top of the bridge, you want to make sure you have a nice long line from your armpit all the way down towards your heels. So your ribs are not lifted above your hips, and your hips are not hiked above your ribs to put pressure on the back. So you want to make sure you have that nice line and your abdominals are pulling in strongly to support you. To lower to the mat, start from the top down. So lower the chest first, and then melt your ribs, then melt your waist, and then very last, let your hips roll into that mat. Let's do it again. Curl the tailbone under, tilt that bowl of water towards your face, squeeze the glutes as you press through the big toe, pinky toe, and heel, and then roll the hips all the way up into your shoulder bridge. Imagine an orange between your knees so that way your knees don't buckle out to the side. Your inner thighs are a little bit engaged. And then roll the spine down one more time, chest, ribs, waist, and hips. Last time like this, curl the tailbone. Make sure your abs are pulling in strongly, squeeze the glutes, and lift all the way up. At the top this time, we're gonna hinge at the hips, lowering halfway down. Curl the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, and then lift right back up. So hinge from the hips, tuck and lift. So maybe you'll just go a couple inches down, or if it's available, you can go maybe halfway down. Each time you lift, you're curling the tailbone, squeezing the glutes, and making sure those abs stay in. 4 more like this. Maybe press the hands into the mat to help you. Make sure you're breathing. 2 more. Last one, hold it at the top, maybe squeezing a little bit more, and then melt your spine down, chest, ribs, waist, and hips. Bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open wide to let those hip flexors stretch out. And then let's roll over onto one side to work your side seat. So stack your spine up against the back edge of the mat and pillow top your head. So you're making a little pillow with your bicep. Lie the head down on the bicep and make sure your head's in line with your body. And bring your knees in front of your hips so you have a 90-degree bend from hip to knee to foot. Make sure you're lifted slightly underneath that bottom side waist so your ribs don't collapse into the mat and you're not torquing your spine. Abdominals pull in strongly. Top hand pressing into the mat. Start by lifting the top leg up and down. So you're keeping the 90-degree bend and just lifting and lowering that top leg. Feel the lift come from the side seat. And make sure that you're not lifting so high with the leg that your hips roll back. Do 2 more like this. Last one, keep the leg lifted and then internally rotate the leg so your knees tap, and then externally rotate so your foot taps. So it's an internal rotation and an external rotation. While you're doing this, make sure the hips stay stacked. So you want to only do the external rotation as much as your hips will externally rotate. So you don't want to force it. Do 2 more like this. Last one, keep your external rotation. So rotating from the hip, and then lift the foot up an inch off the other foot and tap it back down. So feel the lift come right from the top of the hip. So you're not really moving the knee or the foot, you're just moving from that hip. Do 4 more like this. Make sure the abs are pulling in to support your back. 2, and 1, hold. Find that internal rotation without moving the hip, and then lower and lift. Lower and lift. Your toe is pointing up towards the ceiling as much as your rotation allows. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up, bring it hip height, lengthen the leg out and flex the foot, and then kick it forward. Try to find a 90-degree angle if that's available, and then point, reach it behind, curl the tailbone, squeeze the glutes. Kick forward, reach back. 3 more. Abs are pulling in. And 2. Last one, bring the leg in line with the bottom leg. Flex the foot and circle the leg out. 8 circles. Try to reach long from hip to heel. 4 more in this direction. About basketball size. And then reverse. 8, 7. Think up and around. More up, less down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the leg up for just a second and then bend the knee in and give yourself a little pat on the seat to kind of bang out those tired seat muscles. And then push yourself up using your hand and swish your legs around to the other side. Make a pillow with your bicep and then bring the knees in front of your hip, pulling the abs in and up, lifting the bottom side waist, and then you lift that top leg straight up and down. You have 3 more. Try to keep the foot in line with the knee. On the last one, keep the leg lifted, internal rotation, external rotation, maintaining that stack of your hips. 3 more. And 2. Last one, keep your external rotation, and then you lift and lower, lift and lower. Lifting right from the hip, making sure the knee and foot are not moving. 4 more. Make sure the abs are pulling in to support you. Last one, and then find your internal rotation, same thing. Tap and lift. Try not to let the hip roll forward, to keep that hip stack. You have 4 more. And 3, 2, and 1. Lift the leg hip height, and then extend the leg, and then you kick it forward, flex that foot, point, reach back, curl the tailbone, squeeze the seat. Flex and point. While you're doing this, imagine the leg is sweeping across the table, so you're not lifting higher in one direction. Do 1 more, kick it forward, and then bring the leg just in line with the body and flex the foot. 8 circles in each direction to finish. 8 and 7. Think up and around. 6 and 5. Keep reaching long through your leg. Abs pulling in and reverse. Up and around. Up and around. You should start to feel that side seat burn. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up just for a second longer and then bend your knee. Give yourself a little love and lie on your back for a quick stretch. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh, flex the foot, and you can just hold the stretch here if this is enough. If you want more, you pull the left leg towards you and encourage the leg to open a little bit more by pressing gently onto the thigh. And let's switch sides. Left foot crosses over, flex the foot, and then pull the leg in. Gently encouraging the leg to open, breathing into the stretch. And then hug your knees into your chest, hands behind your thighs, chin to chest, rock it up to a seated position to stretch out your hamstrings. Right leg extends long, left knee bends, the foot is on the thigh. Make sure you're on your sits bones. Inhale, lift the arms up long, and then exhale, reach forward. Maybe you're grabbing your shin or your foot, and lengthen forward. And when you can't go any farther, Drop your head, scoop your abs, and round over the leg. Try to press the back of the leg into the mat a little bit more and stretch out the hamstrings. And then roll it up through your spine and switch sides. Flex that foot, sitting tall on your hamstrings. Inhale, exhale, reach it over. Drop your head, round your spine, hollow your abs. Press the back of the leg into the mat. And then roll, stacking your spine all the way back up. Have a seat and take a big inhale and a big exhale. Thank you so much for joining me today for this level 1 glutes video. Please don't forget to subscribe to get updates on the latest videos.